Hey there, welcome to today's live broadcast. We're going to talk about should men pay for dates? Why does this question keep coming up so many times? Should men pay for dates? And I feel like I've answered this question 1,000 times, but I'm happy to recap it because I think it's so important, especially if you're just getting back into the dating scene after being out of the dating scene for a long time, or if if you've been put in a position where a man has asked you to go Dutch, or maybe you just are feeling really strong about your feminist views and you just want to contribute and be independent and be perceived as somebody who contributes and you want to pay for dates. So let's break it all down on who should pay for the dates. And so I think that this is really interesting. What I will tell you from my own experiences, I've never paid for a first date, and I don't really remember ever paying for any dates. And so my personal opinion is that men should pay for first dates for sure, because they asked you on the date, they initiated it, and so they should pay for it. And that's my opinion. And that, I feel that women that are dating middle-aged, 40 and over, I feel that we're still dealing with a generational issue. But the younger generations, they're coming up with different views, and there's different reasons for that. So before I jump into any more about it, I want to go over why men don't don't offer to pay on a first date. Let's go through a couple little bullets here. And you might wonder, are future dates out of the question if he doesn't offer to pay? And maybe get confused, like, does he not have enough money? Can he not afford it? So here's my top 7 reasons why he doesn't offer to pay. So this is really going to give you some insights into what's going on. So the first one is he's on a budget. He's on a budget. I mean, that's a pretty good reason not to pay, right? He might be on a lot of dating apps, which is very common now. Men are dating more than ever. We're all out there dating. It's so much easier to date, and there's a lot of first dates, and so they're incurring big expenses. And so he's on a budget. He can't keep doing that. The second one is you might have treated him badly. And maybe you were in a bad mood. Maybe you didn't like the way he was treating you. Maybe it doesn't matter. His perception is that you didn't treat him well. And so that would be the second reason why a man won't pay for a date, a first date or any dates. And the third reason is that he might feel disrespected. Maybe it's something that you said or you didn't acknowledge or you cut him off, whatever it was. He's not feeling respected, and so he doesn't want to pay. The fourth one is he doesn't intend to see you again. So that's another telltale sign. He's not paying for the check. He doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere. So why should he open up his wallet and get that check? And the next one I have here is they want you to feel comfortable because they're all about equality. And that is something that we're seeing definitely in the younger generations, but I wouldn't say that so much in the baby boomers. But again, that does come up. And that's a genuine reason that a man doesn't want to step on your toes, right? So my 6th reason why men don't pay is that they feel that it's your turn to pay. So this obviously isn't about, this is after a first date. They feel like maybe they want to take turns. And that could be the reason why they don't want to pay for that date, or asking you to pony up. And the seventh reason is, actually already touched on this, that there's so many dating apps now, and there's so much more dating that guys are less willing to cough up the cash on dates. And again, I really think that's more of the younger generation than the baby boomers and middle-aged crowd. So there's so many reasons why a guy is not going to offer to pay for your date. And I don't want you to jump to the worst possible conclusion. That's why I gave you that list. And if you're really genuinely curious behind his decision, go ahead and ask him. Just ask him. Just use your feather and just say, after whatever's been decided, say you guys split it, or just say you guys split the date. You could ask him, split the check, that is. You could ask him, I'm just curious, if you wouldn't mind telling me why you didn't offered to pay for the whole date, why you wanted to split it with me. And just ask him, just put him on the spot, but do it with a smile on your face. You might be surprised that it could be one of these reasons, and besides being on the budget, but what if he said he was on a budget? That would give you a lot of information. Remember, dates are all about getting to know each other as fast as possible so you can see if it's a match to continue seeing each other. So the more questions you ask, the further you're going to get. You need to get all the information you can on these dates. And women are so afraid to take these risks and ask questions, but we have to get out of our own way and be brave enough to ask these questions. And it's a fair question. I'm just curious. You invited me on the date and then you asked me to split it, which I'm fine with, but I'm just curious as to why typically a man is that asked me on a date pays. So I'm just really interested in learning why you didn't want to pay for our first date or for our date. And he might say one of these reasons, and I think that'd be good information for you to have, so that you can make a good decision for yourself whether or not you want to see him again. Now, in terms of first dates, where I stand with this is if he asked you out, then he should pay. And I really believe that the man that does pay for the first date, he's showing you that he wants to take the initiative, right? He wants to be the one that sweeps a woman off her feet. And to men, this means asking you out, planning the date, covering the bill, and all of those things. A man that wants to take the initiative is not going to have a problem with that. And now I recently checked out a survey done by the Times that 85% of men still think that they should pay for a first date. And that topped the 72% of women that thought the same. So most women thought it, and almost 85% is quite high. Men really wanted to take that initiative. So the simple fact is that men still want to treat the woman that they like. They still want to make that a treat for you. Isn't that wonderful? So really own that. Really take that to heart. So you can stop creating all this confusion with men by offering to pay. I see that so many times, and it's really sabotaging yourself, especially if a man has this good intention. He comes, he wants to take the initiative, he sets it up, he organizes everything, and then you offer to pay. It kind of undermines him a bit, right? Because he's made his intention clear when he's done that. And he wants you to know that you're not just hanging out on a date, right? Chivalry consists of these small, courteous acts that are displayed by a man towards you that will serve as a symbol between the differences between men and women, right? Without these gestures like holding your door open, pulling your chair out, paying the check, what sets a date apart, really, right? Good conversation and a round of drinks. You can have that with your girlfriend, right? So allow the guy the gesture of paying the bill, and you will get that underlying meaning that you're longing for, which is that he wants to treat you. And don't feel bad for expecting that. That's something to do with your low self-worth. I don't believe it has to do with anything else. And if you're wanting to pay and to contribute later, then that's different. So let's talk about that really quick, and then I'm going to take some questions. So what I think is the way I did it, and what I teach my clients to do, is that I recommend that you allow a man to take you on 3 dates and let him pay. So you go to dinner, maybe you go to lunch, maybe you go on a picnic, or you do some other activity. And then on that 4th date, if it's progressed to that, then you should be feeling like you're ready to make him a nice home cooked meal and invite him over to your house, or you'll maybe prepare everything for a beautiful picnic and go to the beach, whatever. You're pulling out your wallet, you're organizing something that's intimate, that's homemade, that's something unique. And if that means getting tickets to a comedy show or to a concert, then that's okay too. But I think having them, the whole intention is getting into a committed relationship, right? And so having a man over at your home where you cook a meal creates intimacy. It allows for, more openness and more connection. That's why I think that you want to move to that if you're comfortable after the 3rd date with him. And so who pays for a trip? That's a really important question that I get a lot from women as well. So the way I feel about that is that If you're planning on becoming physically intimate with the man, that means trips are pretty much like, hey, do you want to go away for the weekend? I feel that men invite women to go away for the weekend so they can sleep with them, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's pretty cool. But you need to know that if a man says, let's go away this weekend, he's saying, and let's sleep together. I'm ready to get busy with you. And so don't be naive. If a man invites you on a trip and you want to do that, or you're ready to do that, and you're ready to have those conversations that I recommend that you have, then you want to allow him to pay for the date. Here's how you can set that up. You can say, that sounds wonderful. I would love to go to Napa with you. However, it's not in my spending plan right now. And you just smile, and then you're letting him know that you need to confirm with him that he's going to be paying. Now, if you're not ready to sleep with him, that's okay too. Speak your truth. Say, I think that would be fabulous. I will be honest with you. I'm not ready to sleep in the same bed. I'm not ready to spend the night in the room. If you're comfortable getting us 2 rooms, I think that would be wonderful. I would love to go with you. And then you just sit in that truth. Sit in the discomfort of that. This is what you want. And he's going to respect you for it, or he's going to fall away, or you're going to know his real intention was to just take you on the trip to sleep with you, to get you in the sack. So either way, it's a win for you. You just have to use your voice in that case. Don't jump to conclusions because a lot of the clients that I coach them this way, and a man says, no problem. He'll get the 2 rooms. He'll take you to dinner, and all that tension will be built up to continue the courtship, right? To continue to see how things unfold. So don't feel pressured to jump into bed with somebody just because they take you on a trip. Big deal. As long as you're showing appreciation and gratitude for everything that he's doing for you, that doesn't include your body, right? That's different. And it only does when you want it and you feel ready. So to be clear, don't pull out your wallet on dates. It's confusing to men. Sit back and sit on your hands. If a man asks you to contribute, says, can you want to split this? Then that gives you information. You can say, oh, okay, sure, I can do that. So I would hesitate a little, let him know that you weren't prepared through your body language, split it, and then ask him. After the bills paid, you can say, I'm just curious. I hope you don't mind me asking. Since you asked me out, I assumed you were going to pay for the date. I had no problem splitting it with you, but I'm just wondering why you wanted me to split it. I want to understand you more, and just let him tell you, and don't make it an assumption. Maybe it's something, maybe who knows what he's going to say, but hear him out. So I hope that helps. I really hope that clears it up. Don't be offering to pay. Men still want to treat you. And chivalry is still alive and well as long as we're not shooting men down and pulling out our credit cards. I just think the old-fashioned courtship is something that's going to be very hard to change, maybe in the younger generations, but for people like me and the ladies that subscribe to this channel, I know that you're probably feeling the same way. So stay with the plan. It really does work. It really sets it up to get to know a man and in the right way to create that romance and begin that courtship. And then later on, if you want to start contributing, I buy my husband lunch. I mean, we're married, but I get lunch. I contribute. We've already worked out what expenses we'll each share. And I want to treat him. I really do. I buy him lunch. I do different things for him to let him know that not only do I appreciate and value him, but I also want to treat him so he can see what that feels like. And he's fine with it, but I don't do it a lot. Maybe once a week I'll buy him lunch. And I typically never buy dinner, but it's usually lunches, or I'll go get to-go food, and that's the way I'll do it. Or I buy all the groceries and I do the cooking and he does the cleaning, that kind of thing. So it works well for us. I hope this helps. Yes, we love chivalry. Yeah. So let's see. Do we have any questions, ladies? And before I answer the questions, if you're resonating with the content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so that you don't miss out on any live episodes and any pre-recorded videos that I release going forward. And if you want more information on how to work with me and join my community, just check out the link in the box below. Give you all the information you need, how you can get in touch with me, take advantage of my ebook, find my website, read my blogs, etc. Okay. Question, what if I go to dinner with a date and he wants to order wine? I don't drink. What do I say? And how do I tell him that I don't drink alcohol? Well, what I would do is, if he says you want to get a bottle of wine, you can say, I think I'm going to get one of um, these mock cocktails. They look really interesting. That's what I would do. I don't think that, and you can say, I don't drink alcohol, but I love these mock cocktails. You can add that in, or you can just say, I'm not interested in wine right now. I'm just going to get one of these mock cocktails. And that's what I do when I'm the designated driver. I always love getting the mock cocktail because, or whatever they're calling them, they're fun and they're delicious, and it's in the spirit of everybody getting something. And I think that really is a nice way to do it. So that's what I recommend you do. I don't think you need to make a big deal out of it. What you're going to look for is how much alcohol does he consume. And if that's a deal breaker for you, I wouldn't I wouldn't stop him. I would just allow things to unfold and then observe him and see what he does. That's your best bet, because most people do drink. I'm not saying it's good, bad, wrong, or right, just the way it is, but there are people that don't drink. I dated a man that didn't drink, and when I went out with him, I didn't drink either, and I didn't want to, because it was in the spirit of what he was doing, and it wasn't a problem for me. I didn't care. So I hope that helps. Should men pay for the first date? Well, I already answered that question. Yes. um, let's see. Yeah, most men that I've ever met are fine if you want to have a drink and they're not drinking, or if you're not drinking and they are. I've never had a problem either way. I haven't really experienced any judgment around that. So just be yourself and do it gracefully. Um, is it normal to expect a man to be a provider when you are in your 50s, or should a woman be financially independent when she's looking for a partner? That's a great question, and it is a great suggestion for another video. Um, I would need to put a little more time in thinking about that, but thank you for suggesting it. I will have my assistant copy and paste that and take a note. Thank you so much. So what about picking you up? Hi, Ro. What about picking you up at home? How many dates before having him pick you up at your house? Great question. And so I, again, like to stick to that, go out on 2 or 3 dates. You really get a feel for somebody, right? Definitely do 2 dates where you meet him. After that, if you wanted to go one more date, you can, because when he comes to pick you up, it's much more intimate. He knows where you live. And it's not so much even about your safety, which it is about your safety, but it's also about, he's going to see, you're going to make another impression. Are you ready to make that impression? Do you have a mansion that he's going to pick you up in? Or are you living in something really simple that you're not quite ready to reveal that because you don't even know if you're interested in him, etc.? Maybe you're living with your family or something like that. So you need to weigh it out. It's a little gray area, but I always went with the 3 date rule. Take me out on 3 dates, and you can come over to my house and have dinner or pick me up. And and you'll get a feel for men. Like if you know the same people and you talk on your first date and it's really connected, go ahead and let him pick you up. You don't have a teenage daughter at home, it doesn't matter if he knows where you live, right? That kind of thing. So use your wisdom on that. And I'm glad you asked that question. Do what feels best, but definitely vet them for 1 or 2 dates first. And so let's see. Well, congratulations. Thank you, Jackie. Your coaching helped me find and marry my soulmate. Yay. Congratulations. We're all so happy to hear that. And thank you for that validation. I really appreciate it. It just makes my heart sing when I hear that the coaching has really helped you. And that's great. Awesome. Hello, Canada. My old sweetheart from 25 years ago has showed up. Well, so how's that going? Had a second date with a guy and wanted to pay, but he insisted. I wasn't interested in going out on a third date, so I felt guilty. Interesting. So guilt is a waste of emotion. It drains your life force energy. So you want to look into your history and figure out where that guilt came from. That's a belief that there's something wrong about pain. So even though you knew that he wasn't a fit, well, I'll tell you what, I've hired coaches, I've bought clothes, I've bought many things in my life that turned out not to be a fit, but I didn't feel that that I should get my money back. You know what I mean? So it's like you go out with your best intentions and let the men treat you to that because they want to. And if you decide on that date that it's not a fit, that's just the way it goes. It's a part of the equation. And unless you're going out on dates just to go out to dinner, that's different. That's a little out of integrity. Then you want to look and see where that belief comes from, because if that belief is coming up on feeling guilty about paying, then it's probably coming up in other areas of your life. Like, are you worthy of getting a high quality man? Or are there any good, it's really a part of your belief system. So you want to get more clear on where that originated and that's not serving you, and to examine that belief and create a new belief that's more empowering. I am so deserving of every abundance that falls into my lap. If a man treats me to a second dinner and I discover he's not a match, I'm just so grateful that I had this opportunity that he was willing to pay for, that gave me the clarity that I'm not going to be wasting any more of his time. I think that that's an awesome win-win. Okay. Men will judge you for where you live. Everybody will, of course. And it's up to you to handle that in a way that leaves you feeling really good about yourself. Let's see. My first date, when a man asked me for money to go towards the tip because he did want to break a 20. And so that's an interesting scenario. Thanks for asking that. So he didn't want to break a 20. And he might have also been testing to see if you would contribute a little. That's what I think. I don't think it's about him not wanting to make a 20. That's what he said. But I would have thought he's testing me. So I would have been fine with doing that. But I thought that I might have given him a hard time. See, I don't take offense to these things. I just take the information in. That's the difference. So don't get offended. Just take it in. And then you have more information to make a good decision for yourself. So you're like, okay, no problem. I can do that. You can throw in, $6, $7, whatever it was, and just laugh at him. Just say, oh, is that what it's about? And you can just make a joke, or you can just do it, right? Sometimes when I came out of valet, I'd pay for the valet. That's different, right? He got the dinner. Let me get the valet, or if he offered to pay, things like that. So I think, like, again, these are all the little gray areas. As long as he's picked up the check, I think he wanted to treat you to dinner and might have been testing you. Okay, ladies, that's all I have time for, and that's all the questions that are in the chat. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you supporting my channel by showing up for the lives and subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to check out the links in the box below if you wanted a little more information about how to get hold of Jackie. All right, have a beautiful rest of your week and a fabulous weekend. Get out there, meet men in real life, smile, drop your hanky, hold eye contact. This is the summer that's going to make it, that's all going to happen for you. I have no doubt that you can make this summer the summer of love, but you just have to get out there and apply yourself. And if you're having a hard time doing that, it's something that I can help you with. So check out the links in the box below. Sending you all so much love. Don't forget to ask questions after the video's over. I do go back and look at all the questions and I answer them after the fact. So I'll be checking out any questions that came in after I ended the video to see if I can continue to give you some more support. Sending you lots of love. Have a great weekend. Bye.